Folks, the Buffalo Bills just made QB1 the highest paid quarterback in NFL history, specifically when it ultimately comes to guaranteed money. I just learned about this about a half hour ago. I was FaceTiming my parents back home, and I go to X, and it happened, right? And we were having this conversation for quite some time, right? For quite some time, being like, what is this? Who is going to be the next player extended, right? Because we were all debating, is it Christian Benford? Is it Shakir? Is it Gregory Rousseau all off season? And a lot of us in the chat were saying, don't sleep on Josh Allen, right? Because this guy, the way that he has been playing, he just ultimately ended up winning an MVP. You know that eventually what is going to happen is that he is going to outprice himself for us. His guarantees would have ran out in 2026. I saw this on the board as a potential signing for the Buffalo Bills, as a potential extension for the Bills. And damn it, holy hell. Let's just say that Brandon Beane, the front office, the entire organization of Buffalo, the entire city and the organization of the Buffalo Bills looked at this QB and they said, hell no, we got to get it done right now. And this is a big one, folks. $330 million contract, $250 million guaranteed, the largest guarantee ever to an NFL player. And it makes it interesting because a lot of us are just like, what about AAV? And I hate AAV, as many of you guys know. But a couple of weeks back, we were looking at the top paid QBs in the NFL. Josh Allen was not even in the top 10. Now he is. He is tied with Burrow, with Trevor Lawrence, with Jordan Love, and Dak Prescott is still getting about $60 million per year, according to the overall value of his said contract. But don't look at that. What I want you to look at is precisely his $250 million in guaranteed money. This is absolutely insane, right? It's funny because a lot of us, and shout out to everybody in this chat that was along with me saying, hey, let's not sleep on the possibility of Josh Allen getting an extension this offseason, because we don't want him to go out there and have another MVP season without a contract in place. And look at that. He's going to be worth $75 million after the case. It's funny because I really don't think anybody watching this episode would have said, oh, man, damn, man, we gave Josh Allen too much money. I really think that all of us right now can appreciate, right, that Josh ended up getting this cash. No one in this chat right now is completely upset about where we are. And y'all are piling in. I must be the only Buffalo Bills content creator live right now. But do me a favor, smash that like button, guys. Easiest way to show some love. And do me a favor and sound off in the chat right now and let me know where you are tuning in from. I can only imagine vast majority of you are from Buffalo and Bills fans, but sound off and let me know exactly where you're tuning in from, what team you are currently representing. Somebody in the chat when I first started actually asked me a question. What does this mean for the Buffalo Bills salary cap right now? Let's take a look. Let's see if Spot Track has automatically updated it yet. They have not updated it. This was the exact same thing once we ended up letting go of Von Miller, but we are still under the cap, or over the cap, excuse me. But we are going to have to see exactly what this ultimately ends up doing. 299 of you on YouTube, 240 of you on X, 10 of you on Facebook, 1 of you on Twitch. Let's see exactly where everybody is tuning in from, man. We got Macedonia, Stefan, what is going on in Carlsbad, Sweden, go Bills, Rochester, New York, Rochester. We have Alabama in the house. We have South Florida, Mafia Bills. We have Cable Skill, New York, go Bills, baby. We have Anchorage, Alaska. McMatty, what is going on, man? Rochester, New York. Guys, keep on keeping on with this roll call. I'm interested to see what you guys are thinking about. Dan, since we didn't get me Metcalf either, what should we do? Resign Amati or Amari Cooper? I did see that DK Metcalf is going over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, correct? I'm going to go ahead and double check because that news just broke. All right. Got it. Big money deals today, folks. We have Josh Allen, 6-year, $330 million. DK went for 5 years at $150, which is insane. But I feel like a deal for DK Metcalf right over at Pittsburgh made a hell of a lot more sense for Pittsburgh than anywhere else. Had a Myles Garrett deal, had the Devontae Adams deal, Nick Bolton, Harold Landry, You had Sherwood, you had Ernest Jones, Jaron Reed, and Aaron Jones. A lot of teams are locking up their guys, but we all know the most important breaking news that we could find, and that just so happens to be our good friend Josh Allen, who is currently the highest paid quarterback in NFL history when it comes down into fully guaranteed money. Listen, we have West Seneca, New York in the chat. Guys, keep on keeping on with this roll call. Always curious to see where everyone tunes in. Go Bills from Hawaii. Marvin Davis Jr., how you doing? Chile, New York, what's going on? Just so you can mispronounce it. Chile, New York. Chile, actually. It is pronounced Chile, as a matter of fact. Windsor, Ontario. Lewiston, New York. LFG, dude, you are solid. Thomas, man, I appreciate that. I'm glad that we're able to chop it up today on this stream. I don't believe anybody else is live, so I'm glad that I have been an avenue for us to sit back, talk a little ball. Let's make this happen. Shout out to Matthew DeVideo for a super chat. Let's talk about it. Dan, I am happy with the extensions we made so far. First was Shakir, then Bernard, then Rousseau, then Ferguson, and now Josh Allen. This is awesome. Now we need to do Cook and Benford, but wow, what great news. Folks, I'm going to have to tell you this, and this is a take that I have been having. I think we're done with extensions. So I think the Benford extension and I think the James Cook extension, quite frankly, are not going to happen. I do not see it happening. I would be so happy to be wrong. I would be thrilled to be wrong. But going into this offseason, based off of our current cap situation, I knew that we had to pick and choose who gets an extension this year and who's going to ride out their final year of their rookie deal. And I believe it's going to be James Cook and Christian Benford, because you want to assume that Buffalo is going to go out there and attempt to, like, I'd say bring in some sort of free agency help tomorrow, right? Like, you would assume that you're going to be getting some sort of free agency help. I'm not saying a big name by any stretch of the imagination, but like, look for in Asante Samuel Jr., right? Maybe as a CB2, maybe a Jeremy Chin sort of safety, perhaps. But I think this was the last massive extension that we saw. I could see a couple of restructures because we still need to add a little bit of money right into cap, but tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day, folks. Everybody watching me right now, out of all 775 of you, 390 on YouTube, 365 on X, I am going to be live literally all day tomorrow because I am doing a free agency watch party. I'm going to be reacting to all of the signings in real time on this starting at 11 a.m. EST. I will be live. We will be pre-gaming together. So if you guys want me to break the news, if, for example, you're at work and you don't want to be scrolling through X and you just want to hear me freak out for like 5 to 6 hours, highly recommend you subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications because we are going to have to see. Devontae Adams went to the LA Rams. He certainly did. He wanted to be on the West Coast. He got some money at $20 million per year. That is exactly what he wanted. I'm not particularly shocked. What wide receiver do you think that we get? We have Arcade Claus coming in with a great converse. I'm not so much sure that we're going to go for a big name in free agency anymore, especially since Hollywood Brown was taken up by the Kansas City Chiefs once again. I think that we're probably going to look for the draft, maybe a Josh Palmer, perhaps. But really what we need is speed on the outside. So I think we're going to have to just focus on the draft to be completely fine. And we have Richard Forbes saying a bargain bin wide receiver is incoming. That's probably all I'm going to anticipate. If we end up bringing in any sort of a splash play or a splash signing, it would probably be at the CB2 position. And by splash, I feel like that's a bit of an overreaction myself. It's probably going to be more of the likes of an Asante Samuel Jr., who is still very good. I think that he would fit into this sort of defense like a damn glove. But we'll see. That or perhaps even the pending free agent right over from San Francisco as well. That could be a splash, but like he's going to be up there at about $30 million if that works. Did this move free up money for Trey or set us back? So still waiting to see what the specifics of his contract are looking like right now, right? Because this is not correct. Like, he's getting more money than this right now. Spot Track hasn't updated. I'm assuming it does, ladies and gentlemen. I am assuming that it does because his salary this year was about to be insane. In fact, let's go on ahead and check out what his salary was. We have Josh Allen spot track. It's probably already updated, but the specifics of said deal has not been yet. Okay, so this year, he would have been owed $14 million, right? So one could assume, since he already had 4 years left on his deal, we just ended up giving him a massive 6-year extension. He is an unrestricted free agent in 2031. I'm going to assume that his base salary is going to be at around $1.2 million, right? I'm going to assume that. Meaning that once you end up getting back into the Buffalo Bills cap table, I'd say we're probably at around $13 million. But that is me just assuming that that is what his base salary is going to be in 2025. Like, dude just got $250 million fully guaranteed, right? So I really don't see a point where like he would be bringing in some massive salary in 2025. So my estimate is that we're probably about $13 million of spending money. We are officially over the cap, but obviously I need to wait to hear specifics. Shout out to American Beast 7, a $10 donation. Bills suck and refuse to make an impact trade and waste Josh Allen's career away. Can't pay a second-round pick for an impact player. So upset. I can't wait to sign a 32-year-old bum who robs us blind. We have American Beast, man. Listen, he's feeling some type of way. And you know what? Listen, I am fine with it. I totally understand that some Bills fans are hungry for a damn Lombardi trophy, as we should be. As we should be. But one thing I can tell you is that I really think that this team is only one impact player on the defensive line away from finally being able to get over the hump. And honestly, like when I look at all these situations where people are just like, oh, like we can't get past the Kansas City Chiefs, I really don't know any team in the AFC that consistently can get past the Kansas City Chiefs. The only team that can consistently get past the Kansas City Chiefs is the Buffalo Bills. We have the best record against them. We play them the best. Unfortunately, they just ultimately end up ripping our hearts out each and every single time that we do. But I don't think that we are as far away as many of us believe that we are, right? Because in every single NFL season, there are 31 losers and there's only one winner. And unfortunately, we have been on that 31 side for quite some time. Lino TV saying, damn, my boy. And so you about to get no sleep this week with all the moves about to be made. Well, let me tell you what, Lino TV, I am going to be live tomorrow from like 11 a.m. EST, probably until like 6 p.m. EST. It's going to be a long ass stream tomorrow, folks. So if you haven't already, just make sure you subscribe to the channel and also turn on bell notifications so you can regularly plug in and talk to me about what things are going. American Beast, if you think the offense was your problem, you need to put, oh, wow, man, look at that. Trolls coming in. And do you think the Bills have a chance to get Cooper Kupp? I am good really on adding any sort of big name on offense to this team. Because again, like look at our supporting cast that we had from a couple of years back. Well, actually last year. Like, we were, like, second in the league. Hold up. So we were second in the league for points per game with the current wide receiver staff that we had last year, right? And first once you included playoffs. Like, we had the best offense in Buffalo Bills franchise history on so many different metrics. But the problem with the Buffalo Bills was that, like, we were, like, 28th in the league for stopping third down conversions. So what does that tell you? That means that we need someone that can get to the damn quarterback. So that has always been my number one priority this offseason was if we spend any money on potential help coming in, it has to be an edge rusher. It has to be an edge rusher, has to be an interior defensive lineman. But as many of you guys know, I have been pounding the table for us to target Kenneth Grant and or Derek Harmon. I'm hoping one of those two falls to us at 30. But I don't really think that we're as far away as people really think that we are. Let me see. Are you going to punch the referee today? For you, bro? Absolutely. There you go, bro. There you go, man. There you go. Listen, I use Bob so to help me out. Really, I'd say with any time I'm live reacting to Buffalo Bills games and I get pissed off, I beat the shit out of Bob. How many times are we going to say one piece away? It's starting to get old. Well, like, honestly, man, like when it comes down into it, my only advice for you is that I would just stop watching, right? it's us looking at the roster and having answers. It's an any given Sunday sort of league. It's really just an any given Sunday sort of league, right? Like there are so many different occasions where like you look at this team, like you see this roster and like you can't account for injuries that could potentially happen. I genuinely believe that we are indeed a piece away. That was not a punch. Should I join you there and show you a... Are you out of your mind, Dwayne? Come on, fool. Come on, fool. Dude. Insane. I'm just kidding, Dwayne. What's up, man? You think we re-signed Mac Hollins? I do think that we bring him back. Hi, fam. Moves being made. They certainly are. You have no idea. Kick Erica Put. What is she saying? No, I don't think that we should kick her out. And she's not doing anything bad. Bills go for Jonathan Allen and Hendrickson. So here's the deal. I would still love Trey Hendrickson. Like that would be a big piece and that would be a big mover for me, right? As far as Jonathan Allen, I'm going to pass because the Buffalo Bills have never really had youth at the one-tech defensive tackle position. It's always either been Star Lotulelei or Daquan Jones. Give me youth and not a veteran at the position. So I think just one of them, really. We are truly so close, though. Myles Garrett would have made us a lot closer. He wants to stay in, dude wants to stay in Cleveland for some odd reason, but what can you do? What do you think of the move so far, and what is your opinion on what is happening next? Bills Mafia Jonathan's coming in with a wonderful question. So I got to tell you. So what do you think? Love all the extensions of getting our hometown guys in, right? I don't necessarily think that these extensions, and mostly what I'm specifically talking about is Greg Rousseau. I'm talking about Khalil Shakir, and I'm talking about Bernard. I think Bernard was chosen for an extension because he was the cheapest, right? Like his market value was by far the cheapest, right? Greg Rousseau was extended because we had to for cap reasons. Like he would have had a $14 million salary and we needed to figure something out there, especially since he was playing on his fifth-year option. We needed to address that. Josh was extended because, number one, he deserved it. He's an MVP. He's doing his thing at the end of the day. And Shakir was probably the guy where, like, we didn't want him to go out there and have, like, a 1,700-yard season, right, or a 1,500-yard season in 2025 and him be priced out because he's that much more important. So 2 of the players were extended because we had to, and it would create cap space for us, and 2 were because we just wanted to keep them around. I think Cook is gone. I think he will reluctantly play this year. I think he will reluctantly play this year, but I'm not so sure that he's going to get a deal anymore. Levi, who else is on the chopping block to save money? Maybe a couple of surprising cuts here and there, but I feel like all the moves so far have been done, of course, outside of restructures. I still see a Deion Dawkins restructure coming. I still see a Matt Milano. I still see a Dawson Knox restructure coming as well. It's just a matter of time. Sword Brother Joseph, re-signing Benford at CB is a priority. I'd be shocked if it happens now, man. Run his ass off and sell him down the road. All-pro edits. Dan, what do you think we will do about not having a defensive end and a punter? And what do you think about the wide receiver room for next year? We have all-pro edits coming in with a great question here. So the punter, I'm not concerned about that whatsoever. We'll just bring in somebody from college last year, like find like the best prospect we could. And 9 times out of 10, like he wouldn't even be draftable, right? Like he will be an undrafted free agent. Just bring in. It's not like this team does a lot of punting, right? Like this team really doesn't punt quite a bit. So I'm not so much concerned about that punter situation. I have heard that Buffalo and Von Miller are apparently open to having a reunion, but he would be getting paid a vet minimum contract, right? If not, I would love Trey Hendrickson, but will we fork out the money for him? Or will Brandon Beane want to moneyball this situation and address multiple positions? Because this is really where I'm at right now, right? Like, this is really where I'm at. Like, we're in a very interesting I'd say position when it comes into free agency, because I think that we can either make one splash move or we can make 3 mid rooms to fill in some holes on this roster and hope the draft works out. So it's one or the other. That's essentially kind of where I'm at right now. Shout out to all my mods in here for keeping it controllable. Do we re-sign Ty Johnson? We're going to have to see. He was a big part of this team. We have Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Chase Young, Josh Sweat. And do you think any of those edge rushers can land to the Bills in free agency? I think you can make an argument for all 4. I'm not saying that I'm an advocate for it, but I feel like that's something that Brandon Beane would do. Also, like, look at so the former edge rusher from Kansas City, it's I think it's Omen Nenhu and Hassan Reddick. And I know people are like, no, not Hassan Reddick, but like, I'm not telling you I'm advocating for it. I'm just telling you about like what we could expect for tomorrow. I would not be shocked at all if we ended up bringing in Hassan Reddick on a 1-year prove-it deal for like $7-8 million, right? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like when it comes into the draft, I feel that what we're prioritizing is interior defensive line, not so much edge rusher. I think we'll still get an edge rusher, but I don't think it would be somebody in the first or the second. I have some favorites, but I don't know. We will see. Come on, y'all. Dak is worth more than JA17. It's not so much that, because with Josh Allen has the most guaranteed money in NFL history. Don't worry about AAV because that number is typically a myth. Like, what you want to look for is who has the guarantees. And Josh Allen has now gotten paid $25 million more than the last quarterback to break the record for fully guaranteed money. Dak has escalators that he needs to hit, and to be anywhere near that, I want to say like his guarantees were 180 million or like 200 maybe, but Josh is 250 million fully guaranteed. So QB1. Dan, and do you think now that Crosby and Garrett got paid that Hendrickson would want the same type of deal? Here's the thing. It's not even so much up to him, right? Because he's getting traded. So it's not like that, like he really has like a lot to negotiate at this point. So we need guys who can count numbers. Too many of the snap penalties last season. Bills Mafia Jonathan, why hasn't Hollins been extended yet? My boy is a beast. Maybe we're letting him hit free agency, or maybe it'll happen later tonight. Who knows? Why hasn't Hollins been extended yet? My boy is a beast. Bills for life. I think we don't sign a defensive end or receiver in free agency. That will tell us how high they're willing to use a draft selection on an edge and or a receiver. Say that I'm a gambling man. So I think we have 2 moves tomorrow. And I think those 2 moves are going to be on a CB2. And I think that second move is going to be on a safety. I don't think we're going to bring in an edge rusher in free agency, right? I don't think we're going to bring in a wide receiver in free agency. I honestly think it's going to be a CB2 and a safety is who we bring in. Now, names, that is something entirely up for debate. But that's sort of where I'm at. But all right, guys, listen, I just wanted to come on real fast because that was some crazy ass news. I was not intending on going live this evening. But I need to take my dog out, and then it's almost my bedtime as well. You were right. I do go to bed at 9 p.m. every single night because I'm an old man. I'm an unk. It's unk status over here. But tomorrow I will be live from 11 a.m. to probably like 5 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. EST tomorrow, live reacting to all of the free agency breaking news. Dwayne, come on, Dwayne. You didn't need to do that. I appreciate that, man. Listen, you've done so much work for me. I love you, man. Thank you so much. Edge equals someone good with 2 years left in the tank. 1 tech, 4th round, big splash on the safety and or free safety position. Solid free agent splash. Rest in the draft. I love that. Sounds like you and I are on the exact same page, man. Just don't be surprised. Just don't be surprised, folks, if indeed it turns out to be Hassan Reddick on a 1-year deal. Dan, quick question. I've heard that Monday or Wednesday starts free agency. What's the actual day, please and thanks? So Wednesday is technically the start of the new season, but tomorrow is the legal tampering period. That's where you're getting all the news. Like, that's when you're hearing where each free agent is signing at this point. So while it's technically Wednesday, it is basically tomorrow. So from 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. EST tomorrow, I will be live on this channel. And I hope that you guys tune in and roll on in as we break the news together, man. Shout out to everybody that has donated on the channel today, guys. Again, I highly recommend that y'all go on ahead, subscribe to the channel, and turn on bell notifications as well. We have a goal of 40,000 subscribers before the NFL season starts next year. I think that we can do that. I'm live all the damn time. I'm always talking Bills football. I am always talking NFL. Subscribe, smash that like button for me, and I will see you tomorrow for a long-ass stream. All right? So mark your calendars and treat me like a radio station, or treat me like damn white noise in the background of your workday. I'm going to bed. Love y'all. Peace.